Well, hello, 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 my friend. This is Yvonne, and I'm checking in with you guys. Have you ever thought about, maybe for some of you who have children, what are you going to give your daughter or son's teacher? If you're working, what are you going to give your colleagues? If you have a good neighbor that picks up your paper, what are you going to give your neighbor? If you have just a pick of the draw, what are you going to give them? That's only scratching the top of the list of people. And giving doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a big gift. I'm going to show you today how to make this cute, cute cup that you can embellish the way you want. Add in some hot cocoa, a couple of cinnamon sticks, add in some reindeer food, add in some pencils and a notepad. Whatever it is that you want to add. Add it with love and good intention for the person that you want to give it to. I'm going to show you how to make this. It's adorable. I have used it at very different times, not only Christmas. It's just a cute, cute way to give a gift. This is one of them. So stick around. I'm going to show you how to do this, and you'll see then you can imagine how many different ways you can embellish this and add on a few chocolates or whatever and give, just to say, I'm thinking of you this time of year. Stick around. We're going to get right at it. Okay, so what we're going to need to make this cute, adorable little project is the following. You can use whatever embellishment that you want. The basic that I want to make sure that you understand is how to make the cup. The rest is, as they say, is just garnishing. Okay, so what I've come out with, I'm going to do it with today, this Christmas's colors in the kind of the rose, and I just took out a piece of pink rose glitter off the Glitter Brides from DCWV, and I also took a piece out of my, and you never need this much, but I took a piece out of my Sugar Blush paper pad from Reflection that I got at Michael's, at your local Michael's. And you're going to need your your cutting board, your scoring pad, and so forth. So let us get going. You could do it out of this paper if you wanted to, but I'm going to tell you I would definitely glue it on a cardstock because it's going to be flimsy so much. So I choose to make it with cardstock itself and go from there. So let's get started. What you're going to need is your typical 8.5 by 11 cardstock, as I said, and you are going to cut this cardstock at 7 3/4 by 9 1/2. So we're going to go and cut it at 7 3/4 by 9 1/2. So 9 1/2 here. I could have done this to save some time, I suppose, but I didn't. And here is 7 3/4. So I'm going to pull this up at 7 3/4 right there. And there you go. Save your pieces because you will need it for the handle. Now, you can either use your scoreboard for your cutting board for a scoreboard, or you can take out your scoring board. You're going to need your large one for this one, like this. And you are going to score at the large size of 9 1/2. You will be scoring at 1 1/2 increments. So I'm going to go at 1 1/2. Then I'm going to score, 1 1/2. Yes, that's right. 1 1/2, and 3, and 4 1/2, and then 6. And then 7 1/2, and then we go to 9. And yes, you are going to have about half an inch left over, but that's okay. Now you're going to turn it the opposite way, and you are going to score here at 1.5. So your lines that you scored are going to be this way. So we're going to go to the 7 3/4, and we're going to score at 1.5 all the way down, and 5 1/4 all the way down like this. So that will leave you looking something similar to, I don't know if you can tell on the light here, but you can tell all the score lines going this way. You're going to have a short end this way and a larger end over here. Or if you have an envelope maker, take it, put it in here, center your score line, and I'm telling you, you're going to have to push a little harder because you're going to have double the thickness, say, because you fold it, and you're going to end up with this. Okay, so and when you even do the small end, and like so, and if you score your edges before you fold them, I find that it goes a lot better. And you're going to do each one exactly the same. So push. Like I said, if you do not have a envelope maker, fret not. Just take yourself a little punch of something or a pair of scissors and just make all the openings to be approximately the same, and you will see why. Or the same, I should say. You would maybe even use up a you could even maybe use up a round punch. It might work too. I never tried it with a small round punch, but okay. So this is what it's going to look like. So this is on the 1.5 across the board punch. Now, your next step, you can put your punch away. You're not going to need that. Is if this is going to be your fold, okay? So what you're going to do here is, so you have here, you scored at 5 1/4, so you have this piece here. Well, you're going to cut each cut here, right on the fold. In other words, right at the end. That's why I'm saying if you have a diamond shape or something like that, it almost looks like a bell if you had a little bell, I suppose, but so you can find your center. It's so much easier to find your center this way. And you're going to do like this. Now that you've cut each piece on the score line up to the bottom end, you are going to take this piece and you're going to cut it. Then you're going to take the edge here and you're going to cut it kind of in an angle like that, like a miter, I guess you would call it. And then on the other side, this piece here where it's scored, you're going to cut that piece off like this. And then this piece here, you're going to miter it a bit like this. This is all done. This is going to end up being your teacup. So you can tell how easy it is. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to end up taking some good adhesive, and you can use whatever you want, but a good two-way tape would be more, it'll hold better, I guess is what I'm saying. But if you don't, use your two-way tape gun, that'll work. You're going to put a two-way tape on this side, and then you're going to put a two-way tape here. If you're using your gun, you may want to hold off on this step because it might make it easier for you to decorate the other side. Okay, so you're going to do this part here. Now, one thing I recommend is if you're using two-way tape, you're going to be able to pull it back, but if you're using your glue gun, don't start right at the edge. Start about here. Okay, and you'll see why in a bit. Now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to decorate what I want in the front. So what I suggest from you guys is choose the paper that you like. And like I said, in this case, I am going to take and use some of this and some of this. And all you're going to need to do is cut a piece that's going to be at 1 inch. This is 1.5 inches wide. So you're going to need to cut a piece at 1 1/4 inch about, because you want it to keep your some edges. You don't want to put it right to the end. And here it's 3 3/4, so you'll have it maybe done down to 3, let's say 3 inches, 1 by 3 inches. And this is, here I did 3.5 inches is what I did here, and I did 1 inch, 1 inch by 3.5 inch. But this is because I have all these on the side open. But when it comes to the width here, that's entirely up to you. Every width will be the same, 1.5 inch, and every length will be the same at 3.5 inch. So you can make your height and whatever the way you like it. Let's fold the box, because this is what I want to show you guys. And the reason I want to show you guys this is I'll show you at the end how I decorate mine, but for not making this video so long, I want to show you how to make the box. So the decal. So you're going to take your tape off, or whatever you want to call it, your two-way tape, and all I do is, with, you know, that you can just kind of pull it back just a tad. I'm just pulling it back like I don't know, maybe 1/4 inch, maybe, you know, and you'll see why, because I'm just going to pull it back about 1/4 inch like that. And then I'm going to take this piece. So remember, you put the glue on the edge here, and where the crease mark is here, you're going to put a piece of tape on the other side. This is going to close this piece and keep this top piece nice and tight up here, and the top is going to keep it down like this. Okay, so this is the top of your mug. Now you're going to want to take this piece here, and on here you're going to want to put some tape on both sides. And this is why I wanted you to give it some give to hold on to, because we're going to take this piece and we're going to slide it in between two pieces on the other side, so it won't show. It'll look just like one whole hexagon piece. So I'm going to peel that off like this. Really simple, guys, and the things you can do with this, like, it's just, you know, get a box of chocolate, you kind of split the box of chocolate up, and what do you end up with? You end up with a nice gift, you know, because you're putting it in a little cup like this. Or if a person is coffee, you can even put yourself a you could even put a gift card in here if you wanted to, with a, you know, specialty coffee or whatever you think is best. Okay, so now every side is bent, so you end up having here. Now, when we folded this, we didn't put the glue out to the end here. There's an opening here. Can you tell? Take this piece, and you should be able to slide that in here. My fingers want to play with me. And you can slide it right in there, and slide it right into the to the side. I'm all thumbs here. Hold on. Murphy's Law. And no, it's really simple, guys. Just slide it in. And if you really wanted to, you don't have to glue up your last, you know, keep it open a little bit. Slide your piece in here like this. Push it down, and there you go. You have no seam here because it's right inside. All right? So when you put your glue on both sides and you bring it down, maybe you don't, just to make it easier on yourself, maybe you don't want to push so hard on the edge. So when you get to slide it in, it won't be so tight with glue, and you can slide it right in. Now what you're going to do is you're going to close this piece like this, okay? To do that, all you're going to do is you can grab a glue dot, You can grab whatever you have handy. You can take a piece of glue dot. I know I have some here somewhere on the paper. And just add it on to your top. So I always start where the crease is. So where we molded the box together there, or the coffee cup. I'll add one piece here, and then I'll go directly across. And if you want to, you can kind of fold back these a little bit, like this. I'll go directly across, and I am going to push this up to where it starts to fold. You'll see what I mean. Let me do the next one. And then I put a little bit of pressure onto it to attach it. So let me do this one a little closer. I have this one directly across here is going to go up to, see how this part goes like this? Well, this is the side here, and I'm going to push it right across. It's a lot easier if I use both hands. And I'm going to push it in like this. Okay? And then I'm going to do the last thing, and that's going to make your bottom of your box. Now you could put one here if you wanted to, and then pull it. It's up to you. You don't want to put it too thick. Make sure you don't have your dots aren't too thick if you're going to add extras, because it's going to, what it'll do when you put it down, it won't be flat. It'll kind of wobble, right? So I'm going to push this one down, add it here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of pressure from the inside here, just because my hands are big, so to put my hand in, I don't want to break it. Look how pretty that is, and it sits up. Not a problem at all. Now you're wondering, where are we going with the handle? Well, the handle, you're going to take one of your pieces here, and you're going to cut it approximately, that one there is at 1 inch, so you could do 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch if you want. And just give me a second here, and I'm going to cut mine to show you what I mean. And it's really, really easy. And there you go. So I have mine here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it the length. So this length here is at 4. So what I want to do, I'm going to cut it approximately at 5. So at 5 inches. That makes sense? Yep. Let's go 5. We can always cut it down. So if I go 5 here, and I do a cut up approximately like so, then I'm going to want to bend it about, I'd say 1/2 inch. So you can either put it on the scoreboard, on your scoreboard, and bend it, or you can just eyeball it like I'm doing it here. That's fine too, because it's just to hold a cup. It's not going to serve anything else. And here you will also decorate it to the way you like it. Now, on this part here, we're going to put some adhesive. And the adhesive, I would recommend that you put a couple if you're going to do the 2-way tape. Make sure it's a good adhesive. You wouldn't want it to grab by the handle and everything falls apart. It's just to do this little piece here, and on the other side. So I'm going to take it and put a piece here. I hope this is following you guys well. It's doing what you want it to do. Whoops. Well, that's not necessarily going to work in my favor. That's why you should always score your they say you should always score your tape before, not score, but put some pressure on it to make sure that it adhere to your paper. There you go. Now we have it. So I'm going to bend it like this, okay? And then I'm going to take, you can take whatever you want, but I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to give it a curve. I'm going to break the fibers, and that'll give me the curve that I want. And then I'm going to go where the side that I've used as adhesive, and I'm going to add on my handle right in the middle. So right in the middle means right approximately there. It's hard to put when you're not right on top of it there, but if you want it to be real precise, you could measure the center and add it on if you like. But just add it on like that. There you go. There you go, guys. And now I have my coffee cup. And you're wondering, well, the bottom looks kind of funny. Don't worry about that part, because all you need to do is take a piece of your bottom. You can do different things. You could put it down, put a pencil going around and cut it. Or if you have a punch, which is the size of 2 inches, two-inch punch. There it goes behind my cup here. 2.5 inch. I'm sorry, 2.5 inch punch. You can take. This is great for scraps too, because you don't have to ruin a big piece of paper. You could not that you ruin it. I'll use it for doing other things, but you can take a piece and just glue it to the bottom, and that's easy enough. If you want to cover the bottom, which I did on the other one too. So you center it, and then voila, you have your base. And if you wanted to do the inside, you could do the exact same thing by just, if you wanted to cover the inside piece, by just dropping it inside. And you're going to find that 2.5 is just, if you have a 2 1/4, I don't, but if you have a 2 1/4, you might just cut the inside a lot better. But I don't, and I find that it's fine because I just roll it. If you can tell, I just roll it to the sides. And there's the bottom, there's my cup, and now all I need to do is decorate the sides and decorate the handle. Let me do that, and I will get back to you on a closing. Okay guys, how cute is that? Remember I told you I was going to show you how to make this, and we did. We made this box, and I was going to embellish it and come back to you, and this is how I embellished it. And it's quite similar to this one, except I did it in the beautiful tones of pink, which is something new for Christmas, and I just added a little piece of tissue paper inside. But this is just a punch that I have. I have a bunch of little punches. This one here is the Christmas tree, and here I have a little bulb, a little Christmas bulb, and on the leftover glitter paper I just cut it up as little light bulbs, and I just added some here and there and a little bit everywhere where there was room for me to cut it. If you're wondering about these sizes, these I cut out at 1 by 3, is 1 1/4 by 3 is the glitter, and the top is 1 inch by 2.75 by 2 3/4. So this is 3 inches by 1 1/4, and here is 1 inch by 2.3/4. So the same thing is here, and that's how I did all my pieces. And I just added a dot on the bottom to give it a little bit of flair. But isn't that adorable? Now I can put candy in there. I can put anything at all. I had cut this out on my machine to see, just to add it to it. I find it just a little tad too big for what it's doing, but still it would make a beautiful tag to go with it. Just adorable. Cannot say enough. So for all of you out there who is looking at this and wondering, could I do this? You sure can. I hope this has been inspiring for you, and I could go ho, 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 or whatever, but it's coming faster than you think. I hope this has been good for you guys. Keep crafting, but more importantly, be happy and be creative. Catch you on the next one. This is Yvonne, and I'm signing off right now.